Welcome back to the Friday Show. I'm Colin Ogler with World News. Russian President Vladimir Putin is accusing Ukraine of terrorism after a recent attack on the bridge that runs from Russia to Crimea. A huge explosion on Saturday morning rocked Putin and the rest of Russia, as the only bridge that services both vehicle and train transportation to Crimea was badly damaged by a massive truck explosion. The explosion killed at least 3 people and cut off the primary supply route for Russian troops in Ukraine. While Ukraine has not claimed responsibility for the attack, Putin's response has been brutal. Civilian targets as far away as the Ukrainian capital city Kyiv have suffered deadly Russian rocket attacks in the days since the bridge explosion. North Korean officials have claimed that the purpose of recent nuclear tests is to prepare for a possible tactical nuclear attack against threats emanating from South Korea. North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un has further stated that the tests are in response to actions taken by South Korea, America, and Japan to show that they are ready to retaliate with force against any regional threat. Most world leaders believe these threats to be without merit because North Korean nuclear attack will trigger a massive strike on their own country. Now, we'll head over to Rachel with National News.
Thanks, Colin. On Monday, the state of New York asked the Federal 11th Circuit Court of Appeals to allow a recently passed restrictive gun law to remain in effect. Judge Glenn T. Sudby of the U.S. District Court of the Northern District of New York granted a temporary stay and said in defense of his ruling, the state has further reduced a first-class constitutional right to bear arms in public for self-defense. On Wednesday, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis highlighted recovery efforts in hard-hit areas pounded by Hurricane Ian. There are still 50,000 people without power, but 2.6 million people have had their power returned. Florida's First Lady, Casey DeSantis, said that the Florida Disaster Fund has raised about $40 million since its activation 2 weeks ago. We will be right back with Wyatt in State News right after the commercial. You are watching The Friday Show.
GFL Environmental is one of the nation's largest providers of solid waste collection, transfer, recycling, and disposal services. GFL Environmental is an outstanding service business that is locally managed by professionals living and working in the communities they serve. From providing essential waste and recycling services to assisting local governments and sponsoring community organizations, putting the community first is the top priority. That's GFL Environmental.
Welcome back to the Friday Show. I'm Wyatt with State News. 2 weeks after winning the August primary, Jason Kolkima, a judicial candidate from Muskegon, was reported to have assaulted his girlfriend. Following a disagreement, Kolkima was observed by witnesses striking his girlfriend multiple times in his Western Michigan apartment. Kolkima was eventually noticed by people watching him, and he put up a peace sign. Kolkima claimed the video was misleading and taken out of context. Good luck with that. An off-duty police officer was shot in his car in Detroit on Monday. After the shooting, multiple agencies and officials in the area of Evergreen and 8 Mile Road responded to the attack. A Detroit Police Department spokesman stated that the officer and the woman were both sitting in the car when they were fired upon. The identified officer is being treated for his wounds and is in a local hospital. Now we'll hear from Jack with local news.
Thanks, Wyatt. On Tuesday, the Saginaw County Health Department started offering Narcan and sterile supplies for drug users. The department is opening a room from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. every Tuesday to offer a variety of supplies for clean and sterile use. These supplies are being offered to reduce the risk of users contracting deadly bloodborne pathogens and accidental overdoses. Next month marks the first year after the deadly explosion that occurred on Hogarth Avenue in Flint. The blast killed 2 people and injured another 2. On Sunday, Flint Mayor Sheldon Needley honored representatives from the Hand of God Ministries and St. Pius Catholic Church for helping to clean up after the explosion, giving the 2 churches the key to the city. Now to Owen and Noah with sports after the break.
An American Metal roof just makes sense. Not only is it permanent, unlike asphalt, it's also guaranteed. And with all the colors and styles available, American Metal roofs are stunning. Visit our photo gallery at AmericanMetalRoofs.com and see for yourself. And no, they're not noisy in the rain and they don't attract lightning. Your American Metal roof will attract the admiring gaze of friends and neighbors, though. Learn more today. Call 844-METAL-ROOFS or visit our website at
Good evening, everyone. I am Noah Grove, bringing you a brief rundown of college and professional sports. Michigan has been trampling over the competition lately. The Wolverines scored another big win last Saturday. this time over the Indiana Hoosiers by a score of 31-10. With the win, however, the Maize and Blue dropped one spot in the national rankings to number 5. But that's not the big story of the game. Michigan's running back coach Mike Hart suffered a seizure on the Michigan sideline and had to be carted off the field during the game. Hart is reportedly in good conditions and is planning on returning to the sidelines this Saturday against number 10 Penn State. Kickoff is set for 12 p.m. Michigan State is 2-4 after they started out 2-0 on an early number 11 ranking on Saturday. The Spartans were thrashed by Ohio State Buckeyes 49-20. With the loss, the Spartans' postseason hopes continue to fade. Michigan State will host the Wisconsin Badgers Saturday at Spartan Stadium. The Badgers are also experiencing a disappointing season at 3-3. One team is going to find its footing again in the Big Ten Conference. Kickoff is slated for 4 p.m. tomorrow. The Detroit Lions' number 1 scoring offense put up a whopping 0 points against the New England Patriots last Saturday. The final score was 29-0. The Lions continue to let up over 20 points per game. In short, the Patriots stomped all over the Lions' offense and defense. The Lions are in their bye week right now, desperate to make some changes and to rest up. The Lions will travel to Dallas next Sunday to take on the always dangerous Cowboys. Hopefully, they can get back to their winning ways. That is going to do it for professional sports. Now over to Owen with Hometown Sports. Owen?
Thanks, Noah. I'm Owen, bringing you Hometown Sports. Our very own varsity football team is currently 4-3 in the year. The Rams traveled to Pete Fousey Memorial Field to take on the Mount Morris Panthers last Friday. The Rams survived a close first half but ran away with the win with a score of 49-22. Brent Wolford for the Panthers won Offensive Player of the Game. Will Wade from the Rams won Defensive Player of the Game. Addison Fegis won Special Teams Player of the Game for the Ram. And your blue-collar player of the game for the Rams was Owen Emmendorfer. Tonight, the Rams will take on the Detroit Lincoln King Academy Wolves at home on homecoming night. If you would like to watch the game in the comfort of your own home, you can watch Colin Alguire and I broadcast the game. The pregame show starts at 6:30. Our Lady Rams volleyball team is 2-8 on the year. On Tuesday, the Lady Rams took on the Byron Eagles at home and sadly lost to a dominant game for the Eagles, losing 3 out of 3 sets. Yesterday, the Lady Rams took on the Sassa Dragons away from home and ended up on the short end, losing 3 out of 4 sets. Up next, the Lady Rams will take on the Lakeville Falcons at home. The Lady Rams are having a rocky start, but they're looking for a bounce back and to finish out the season with a winning record. The varsity cross-country team has had 10 meets this year. The last meet was on Tuesday, and for the boys, the team was led by Joey Galinsky, who came in 15th. The team overall came in 5th out of 6th. For the girls, they came in 4th out of 7th and were led by Isabel Nalwico. Up next, the Rams runners will travel to Goodrich to run in the Kayla O'Mara Memorial Invitational. That's it for Hometown Sports. Now to Peyton with the homecoming preview.
Hello, I'm Peyton with your homecoming update. Do we ever have a lot to cover? Very soon we will be enjoying our homecoming celebration fun time on the football practice field with car smashing, cornhole, bounce houses, a dunk tank, and lots of other fun games. At 5:30, the homecoming parade will take place in town with all of the floats, the band, and the class representatives. At 7 o'clock, the Rams will kick off the homecoming 2022 game against Detroit Lincoln King Academy. At halftime, the homecoming queen will be crowned. Remember, if you cannot make it in person, watch the game right here on MDM-TV.com. On Saturday, the annual homecoming dance will take place at 7:30 in the cafeteria. If you haven't already bought your tickets, today is the last day. Make sure to stop by in room 144 right after school. Tickets will not be sold at the door. Be safe this weekend, everyone, and have fun. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for that update, Peyton. And thank you all for tuning into this week's Friday show. I hope to see you tomorrow night at homecoming or tonight at the game. On behalf of the entire MDM crew to you, I've been Colin Alguire. Thanks, and have a great night.